Shalom, family. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are tuning in to this video. As you guys know, there's a lot of things happening right now in the world. The headlines are loud, opinions are emotional, social media is reactive. But if you are someone thinking about traveling, relocating, retiring overseas, or building an international life, you cannot afford to think emotionally. You have to think strategically. Today, I want to talk about rising global tensions, what they could potentially mean for expats and future movers, and why this season requires maturity, not panic. This isn't about fear, this is about positioning. So, make sure you like the video, leave your comments below, share this with someone that you love and appreciate, and let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So, the reality of global shifts. When tensions rise between major nations, the average person will scroll past it, right? But the strategic person studies it. They make sure they know what's going on. They make sure they analyze what's going on because global conflict, or even a possibility of it, the effects that it brings is air travel routes, visa policies, currency stability, banking relationships, sanctions, supply chains, energy prices, and even residency approval. And there and here, what many people don't understand. You don't have to be directly involved in a conflict for it to affect your location plans. Sometimes the ripple effect hit neutral countries first. Flights get rerouted, insurance policies change, banks tighten compliance, residency processes slow down. If you are planning to move abroad, this is the season to be observant, not impulsive. You do not want to just automatically move. You want to have a plan. You want to be strategic with your move. You want to be wise with your move because emotional relocation and strategic relocation is two separate things. And that brings me to a point. There's two separate people also. So there's the emotional mover and the strategic mover. The emotional mover says, I need to get out of here now. I'll figure it out when I land. Anywhere is better than where I am now, right? The strategic mover asks, what is the country's geopolitics alignment? How dependent is it on global trade? What happens if sanction expands? What currency exposes what currency exposure will I have? How diversified is my banking? Do I have a legal residency or am I just visiting? One mindset is reactive. The other is prepared. And preparation is not paranoia. Preparation is wisdom, guys. Wisdom is very key in the times that we are living in. So, what this means financially. So, let's talk finances for a second. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a brother. I am a investor. I am a trader. So, I'm here to talk with you guys to let you guys know how important finances are when you are moving abroad, when you are relocating abroad. Because when global tension rise, markets respond before governments do. Currency fluctuates, commodity spikes, just as we saw with gold and silver, and then it spiked up, but now it's back down to a support level, a level where it's trying to figure out if this is the correct price range, interest rates shift, capital control tightens in some regions. If you are planning to relocate internationally, you should be asking, where's my money held? And what currency is it held in? Under which banking jurisdictions? How accessible is it for restrictions to increase? Do I have more than one financial option? That is very important, family. This is what we talk about in the Mature Adult Intensive. We give, we tell people you should have at least 2 to 3 banking accounts or investing accounts that you know how to move your money around. That's very important. Many people romanticize moving abroad. And I can't lie, when we first moved abroad, that's how we were back in 2020. And I think at the time we could, but now it's getting more serious. You cannot do that. It is time to really be strategic about your plans moving abroad because most people don't think about liquidity. They don't think about cross-border taxations. They don't think about how quickly financial rules can change. This is why we always teach life lifestyle follows structure. Freedom follows planning. Security follows positioning. If you don't understand how global shifts affect your financial base, relocate relocation can become stressful very, very quick. And we are not moving or relocating to be stressed, right? We just are moving and relocating to be blessed. Hallelujah. Traveling and mobility considerations. This is something that you really have to think about also. Now, let's talk about mobility. In uncertain times, mobility becomes power, not just the ability to travel, but the legal right to stay. This is a major difference between a tourist stamp, a temporary residence, a permanent residence, and citizenship. We always say temporary residence or permanent residence for the time being. Citizenships will come, but that comes with taxes, that comes with you really want to stay in that country. But we'd go over this on in the Mature Adult Intensive, so check the links in the description if you are interested in joining us in a couple weeks. But if tensions increase globally, governments they prioritize their own citizens first. So just think about Mexico. Think about what's going on in Mexico right now. They are going to make sure their citizens is okay before the tourists. And most resorts and stuff, of course, I'm pretty sure they will take care of their customers and stuff. But I'm talking about when it really gets bad, the government will make sure the citizens will eat first. So just think about when the supply chain was going in and out of America, when the first thing that Donald Trump was doing with the tariffs, a lot of trucks was halted and paused for a second, and the shipping yard wasn't doing any work. Um, a lot of people were going to food banks. You get what I'm saying? You got to think about that when you are moving abroad. Yes, there's somewhat like food banks when you are traveling abroad, when you are moving abroad. So they will take care of their citizens first, just like in America. They're going to make sure the citizens is going to be prioritized first. So visa waivers can change, entry rules can tighten, documentation requirements can expand. If you are serious about relocating, you need a long-term legal plan. Your documentation needs to be organized, and you need an exit strategy. This is very important too. You got to know how to move around. Like I always say, you have to know how to move around. If you know how to move around, you can move around anywhere in the world. This is not dramatic thinking. This is responsible thinking, especially for mature adults entering retirement. You want stability, not uncertainty. Why cheap living is not strategic. Another thing that happens during global tensions is that people start searching for cheap countries, cheap rent, cheap food, cheap healthcare, but cheap doesn't does not equal stable. Cheap does not equal safe. Cheap does not equal re, resilience. You have to look at political stability, international relationship, infrastructure, banking transparency, healthcare systems, energy dependency. Sometimes the most affordable country in peaceful times becomes the most valuable in unstable times. Think about that. Sometimes the most affordable country in peaceful times becomes the most valuable in unstable times. This is why relocating must be evaluated beyond cost of living, beyond YouTube videos. So, what should you do right now? Here's what I recommend. One, don't panic, don't rush, don't ignore. Instead, review your financial positioning, review your passport strength, review your residency options, diversify where appropriate, stay informed beyond headlines, and most importantly, have a plan before you need one. Have it before you need it. Because once restrictions are announced, it's too late to start researching. The best time to prepare is when things are still calm. Everything we talk about on this channel, relocation, financial, finances, global awareness, is about moving wisely, not emotionally, not politically, strategically. We are not predicting the disasters, we are acknowledging reality. The world shifts in cycles, and mature adults must move accordingly. If you are entering retirement or semi retirement, this is your season to build stability, not gamble with uncertainty. Relocation should bring peace, not pressure. If you are thinking about moving abroad, traveling long term, or building an international life, let this be a reminder. Position before pressure, plan before panic, structure before stress. If this conversation helped you think differently, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and if you are serious about building a structure relocation plan, visit our website and learn more about how we help mature adults prepare strategically. The, the world may shift, but wisdom keeps you steady. We'll see you in the next video. Shalom, family.